Hey everybody, Gris here. Welcome to my new room, my new plant room slash weight room, gym, plant nursery, do everything room. I've sort of taken over the whole basement now. I used to have just a section now, taken pretty much over the whole thing. I'll give you a little tour in a couple minutes. I just wanted to say, hey, I had so many really heartfelt messages on my last video there, the first one I'd done in months. It was so nice to hear from some people that are really good regular subs and contributors to questions down in the comments. And I was really happy to see some really nice things people were saying. That's awesome. Thank you very much. I'm glad I'm back. I'm glad everybody hung in there waiting for me. A few people are concerned that I guess they didn't watch the whole video, that I'm not going to do any videos anymore, but I am, just until I get rolling. I was going to start last week already doing some, but just things happened that didn't allow me to do it. But that's okay. I'm in no real rush. That's the fun thing about being retired, I suppose, is not having to worry about a time schedule or fitting into somebody else's time schedule. So free to sort of do as I want when I want. And when little things pop up that are a little more important, I can do them now. So hopefully, maybe this week I'll be doing some model prep. I think is what I'm going to be doing this week, prepping some plaster and doing some repair work on some old models and getting ready for rubber. Going to be trying a few different things. Actually, I'll show you the product. I'm going to be trying on more plaque style sort of things. I'm going to be using more of the urethane rubber. That's the Brush On 40 from Smooth On that I use. Just that because I can finish it in a day, like one piece, you're done. I'm also going to try a couple other things too. I'm sure some of you are wondering, how am I going to do fiberglassing? I'm not going to do any fiberglassing in the house, that's for sure. So all the fiberglass has got to wait until summertime, or spring, sorry. Then I can get outside and do a little bit of glass work out in the carport. But I'm going to try something new. It's coming on Monday, and that's called Plastishield 2 from Smooth On, and it's a different sort of a plastic based product that you use for a backer. I think it still has fumes, but I'm hoping not as fumy as fiberglass, that I would actually be able to do them here in the house in the basement. We'll see. If it gets too stinky, it's going to have to wait too. But I've always been curious, seen the product, and wanted to give it a spin. So I've got a couple gallon kits coming to try out. And like I said, if it gets too stinky, I'll go outside. But I'll probably do some videos while I do it using new products. You can see me stumble, bumble, and fumble around with something new too, just like we all do when we get something new. So I guess what I'll do is just take you on a little bit of a tour. It was kind of difficult when you've accumulated over 12, 13 years. You've accumulated a lot of tools, a lot of knickknacks, things, oddball things that you need for doing your molds. As many of you probably know already, you've got your favorite little tools and things, and it just seems to grow and grow and grow over the years. So my problem was I had to really think hard, what did I really need and need to keep. I knew I wasn't going to pour concrete anymore, so a lot of that stuff could go bye-bye, either sold or given away to friends. So I just stuck with the basics, like what I need for clay work, for plaster work, for mold making, basically. And so I'm trying to fit it into a space that's going to work. I've always been sort of from my chef days, sort of an ergonomic kind of a geek, like everything kind of handy and in a good place. So I tried really hard, but I'm sure I'll tweak everything over the years here. You might want to ask when I show you around, what happened to some of my larger stuff. Like I had a bandsaw and a drill press and a grinder and a few other large items. They're all at my mother-in-law's house in her carport. It's going to be a temporary house for it. I bought a big compound miter saw and a table for it, and a new chop saw and a couple other things. We will be building another shop, probably going to be a year away from now till we get started, but it's sort of hitting paper now. We've got somebody lined up to build it. It's not going to be a shop where I'm going to produce concrete anymore or any of that sort of stuff. It's just going to be so where I could maybe go do some glass work or something. It's going to be a shop that's going to be big enough to roll like a vehicle in to work on your vehicle, do some work and have the bigger equipment in there. So I've always wanted to do some more woodwork in my retirement too. So it'll be sort of a garage slash mold, whatever it is to turn into anyway. But that's still, like I said, probably at least a year away before that comes to fruition. Or, fingers crossed, maybe start midway through this year building. But I'll keep you all posted there. I just want to touch on one quick topic there. Somebody had asked me to comment on how to run a successful business, like what my wife and I had doing, the wall art plus the concrete, and hints and tricks and tips. And it's sort of a hard one. It depends on your area. You have to know your particular area, what you can charge for a price, what's going to be acceptable to people. If you have a lot of retired folks that are around, or sort of, the whole demographics of where your property is. On the old thing adage too is location, location, location. We had a really good location. We're on a really busy street between two communities. So people had to cross both ways going to work. So we had a high visibility right on that road front there, and building up a good clientele, like a repeat clientele over the years, and word of mouth. And it's a work hard job. And the first couple of years, I'm not going to fib, the first couple of years were tough. Anytime you open a new business, till the word gets out and people really find you, it's a tough go. And you think about when you're about a year into it, you think, wow, is this ever going to pan out, or are we in big trouble? But you have no choice. If you're in it for the good, you got to give it everything you got and just make it go. And if that, find yourself to get some press or to get some radio time or something, I wouldn't suggest buying, like I always find it's a crazy amount of money to go on the radio. It is up here in Canada anyway. But just to get yourself some more exposure and enter events, charity events, things like that. It's a good way to get your word of mouth around, to do sponsorships for auctions and charity auctions. And it's a good way to get out there where the public learns and knows where you are. So, and it worked for us. Didn't hurt that my wife was from here, this city, and she knew a lot of people, and she has this amazing recollection with people that she knows, can remember who they are and their kids' names, and that really helped a lot for the service. I couldn't have had a better partner out in the front end of the business, my wife. But anyway, I'll hit on it now. Again, we'll talk on this topic some more, kind of thing. But yeah, it's a tough one if you want to get into this as a full time and do a brick and mortar store, sort of like what we had. But anyway, without further ado, I've talked too much already. I'll give you a quick walk around here and just show you it's a pretty compact space. And anyway, I'll just take the phone off the mount. There we go. Okay, so underneath the table, I got a couple buckets of rubber down there. I've got another bucket coming on Monday as well with the Plastipaste. So here's my basic workstation. Got monster clay, disposable gloves, all my little knick-knack tools. Just some stuff I need for clay too. I use that's isopropyl, I can't pronounce, Mirrostate. That's for smoothing out monster clay with a brush. It's pretty aggressive, takes lumps and bumps out. New to me, but it looks really cool. I tested it on a couple little pieces. And there's all my little knickknacks and things on magnets. It might be hard to see because I got a light up here. Brushes, etc. All up on the top. There's that Flex Foam 14. Hey Sven, if you're looking, notice something? Yeah, he'll see that. Okay, so there we go. There's the brush on 40. The Man Release. I really like their release agent. When you're using the urethane, you have to make sure your piece is, like a piece of plaster, is sealed really well but then you have to put a release on it before you go brush on 40, or you'll never get it off. It just sticks like crazy. So I really quite liked that man release. A couple new things here from I'm using, gonna try. Super Seal, that's another sealer that they use for concrete or for plaster. Also for another one is called Sonite Wax. It's another, you put a couple coats of that on before you put your release. Anyway, just some stuff I wanted to play with and to give you guys a lowdown on it. That stuff up there is just some coloring that you add to your rubber to in between coats, so you can just make sure you get a good coverage, that you're hitting all the spots. I used to use a different dye before, but I actually think it had a little bit of water in it, and it's really bad for that stuff right there. So this is the proper dye to use for it. So anyway, so down here I've got just a few models and stuff out that I probably want to start with first. A few things I want to, but some of them got repairs. Like you can see here, he's got big nick on his nose and a nick on his hand, and so just go through and do some sanding, and there's a little broken piece on her, fix all that stuff up. Bought something new. It's you know, I go through Dremels like crazy. Here's a sideways shot. So that's a cordless one. Never had a cordless one before. 8220, that's the model on that one. I was a little hesitant, but boy, it really rips. So we'll see. I'll give you a review once I use it a few more times and see how I like it or not. But I burn through them in 2.5 years. I'm always buying a new one because I just use them for everything. I just wanted to show you this. If you just seen that when I was panning, that's the gas. The brush on, if it sits around for a while and it gets air to it, it deteriorates the product. So what that is, you put the lid back on and leave a little open area. Give it a shot, like for I think 1 or 2 seconds with this extends gas, and the gas is heavier than air, of course, and it settles down over the product, so you're not letting it turn. So I bought that last year already. So okay, so that's my little work table. A lot smaller than my other 4 I had with melamine tabletops and stuff. So just to show you the lay of the land, this is where, you know, I'm a garden crazy guy. So this is where I bring all my big agave plants in the wintertime. They come down here to rest. And this is my weight room, exercise room down here. If you're wondering what all this stuff is here, leg extension machine. So anyway, here's all my tools, some of them. I've still got a couple hand tools. I got another drill. I've got a angle cutter and an impact drill still at work, but mostly everything, most of the hand tools are here now. All my air tools, I went right by it down over there on the ground. The little blue, that's a Makita small compressor. I didn't bring my big one. It's staying, it's going to go to the mother-in-law's carport for a while. So anyway, all the air tools, etc. A lot of the stuff still in cases, different tools. All my chisels and clamps and things are all in here. Hammers, etc. And over here is all my little odds and sods. It looks a little bit like a hardware store, but it's all the stuff I just need. Different stuff for polishing and cutting, and you know, I still want to play around with some different things too. So anyway, it's pretty compact in here. This is also this is a nursery, part of my succulent hobby. A lot of you know that's what I do. So this is part of the nursery down here. I just planted some cactus seeds down there on the end on the left. But these are all my babies, stuff I've grown by myself here. It's a fun little hobby. Down there's another shelf, but I really want to get into it hard now. It's something I've really been interested in now. It's nice to be able to spend a bit more time on it, for sure. So anyway, that's the weight room. There's the rest of the equipment down here. So here, come a little tight, is this hallway here. So I've got a couple more shelves brought from the shop. They're in here. So that's as I finish products, they can go out onto the shelves here. And then sort of boring. It's a bit of a mess. I got work to do in here. Is one more shelf. This is a little washroom down here. And since my kids aren't here anymore, here's the old shower, and what's in the shower is all my models. So there's a couple hundred models in here, plaster and originals. There's some clay work in here. There's some leaf skins and all kinds of goodies in here. I just got to get in here and really organize it well one day. So anyway, that's about it for the little tour. And maybe next week, or if I do a vid next week, I'll take you to upstairs to show you my big succulent room. It's a new addition to the home. Anyway, everybody, thanks for watching, and thanks again for all the kind thoughts from everybody and comments, and we'll see you shortly. Bye-bye.